Okay, so I hope you got on okay practicing muting those open strings. I'll quickly mention another way you can go about muting that E string when you're playing there, as you might find it a bit difficult to do it with that second finger. Another way you can do it is with your first finger again. Your first finger's already muting those other strings, but you'll find that if you just place it on that string so that you can feel the E string as well, so that the stub of your finger is sort of touching the underside of the E string, it'll actually mute that string as well for you. So that action there of holding your finger like that is actually muting that E string. It's entirely up to you and whatever you feel more comfortable in doing. All guitarists are different in how they play. I like to do it with that second finger, but see what works for you. We'll move on to an example now of why it's very important to make sure you mute those open strings when playing octaves. So to demonstrate, we'll do a riff in E flat. So those open strings are really going to sound nasty if they ring out in that key. I'll put a bit of distortion on and just show you it first of all. 2, 3, 4. So you can hear there that all those strings were nice and muted. If I show you what it'd sound like without muting those strings now, you might want to cover your ears for this, but here goes. Okay, you get the idea. I won't do that anymore. But anyway, as you can see, obviously, if you're playing an E flat octave, you don't want an E ringing over the top of that. So this is a really good example of really getting the hang of muting those strings, and you can really hear if you haven't done it right and work on it some more. So just to show you that example, there's it's a bit offbeat. So if you haven't looked at the previous lesson on offbeat strumming, you can check that out for free on the Coda Guitar website on one of the earlier levels. There's also a bit of sliding in there as well. As I said before, sliding is very good with octaves, so you can check that out as well. There's a lesson on the website for free there as well. So when we're coming in, again, there's also fretting hand muting in this as well, and there is a free lesson for that as well. And you're going to do that right before you come in. So you're going to come in on the offbeat with a D flat there, with an upstroke, but before that you can just give it a little muted sort of downstroke. So if you count in, it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4. So you're going 4. So to play that slowly, you're going to start on that offbeat there. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you can see it's actually just repeated twice there. You don't necessarily need to worry about the timing for this. I find it better just to listen to an example and just get the feeling for that. So as I say, once you get the hang of the down, down, up, all you're doing after that is, so that's just straight notes, and then you're going to repeat it again straight afterwards. So you can always get that muted downstroke right before the upstroke, and not only does it make it sound a little bit more interesting, but it'll actually help with your keeping in time as well, because you can just carry on doing that. So you do that twice on the A string there, between the D flat and the E flat. And then all you're doing is repeating exactly the same rhythm and the same movement between frets on the E string. So you're going to start on A flat and move up to B flat there. So again, it'd just be. So to play that all together, it should sound something like 1, 2, 3, 4. So you can can play along now if you like, and I'll do it at a slow tempo for you to get the hang of it. And I'll just give you a little count in there. So as I say, you want to come in on the 4 with a downstroke, and then on the and you get that upstroke with a D flat. So 1, 2, 3,